your spirit up, even if life at that time didn't make sense. Dad authored a lot of our adventures in our younger years. A fisherman, he would go on fishing trips in the wee hours of the morning. He was a carpenter, very particular with his crafts and made sure to look at the details of his craftsmanship. These activities and qualities remind us all of Jesus, a man who was particularly known as a carpenter, who took detailed interest in each and every one of us, and who eternally carved out a place for us at the right hand of God. Jesus, who made his disciples fishers of men. Tate loved everyone and was not ashamed of no one. As simple as it sounds, he loved all of us with everything and left us with memories to last a lifetime. Tate's personality. The saying goes, "Die appel val nie te ver van die boom nie." Have you ever been in a room with my siblings, my cousins, my aunts and my uncles? The humor could give any top comedians a run for their money. The man had a big personality that filled any room and any space without having to say a word. Caring. Tate was really a caretaker or shiri. We were reminded yesterday by the Namibian caregivers of the type of care, the spirit he gave in consideration of others. But I would be remiss not to add that he was a great friend to so many. Never a day would you introduce yourself somewhere and someone wouldn't say, "Man, is J family van Viano Elago." This was almost always followed by, "Dai is my goeie vriend." Sometimes we would also ask, "Otate Njengono," or "Who is that?" And sometimes the jokes in Dad, "Oh no, I just met him yesterday." He was an absolute fantastic grandfather. Ndapanda of the late Pandu used to call him Opa Elango. Chichi and Mia used to call him Tatekulu or Kuku. He loved spending time with his grandchildren. It meant the world to him. And then you'll find him having deep conversations about coloring books and speeding cars and Batman. The patience and the love he had with them. This is why our heart aches for the things he won't do anymore. But we have no doubt that his essence is in us and he will endeavor to fulfill. If you could write a story, it would be the greatest ever told. The story would be about Dad, for he had a heart of color. We would say gold, but you know Tate. Those colorful shirts, the one he would choose over a tie. Advice. Dad was a man of few words, with a wealth of love and knowledge. He believed in leading by doing, and we learned so many life lessons from him. Tate never judged or criticized. Okay, maybe sometimes, but in all honesty, instead he offered insight that helped us to see things in a new light. Humility. Dad was the epitome of the word humble. Many of you here, without a doubt, will agree that he was the most humble and sincere of persons, and proudly so. Tate kenasho stray. Sometimes we would also feel sorry for him when he walks away from arguments when you know he was right about it. "It's not right, that's not right." This is what he would utter, and in hindsight, he was protecting you from yourself so you could preserve your dignity even over his own. There was a time when Auntie P, Menepao, would travel a lot and we didn't see her often. But the stories that Tate told and spoke of his siblings, I'm pretty sure we knew when their next meeting were supposed to be, before their personal assistants. Hard work. Never did he have an idle mind or idle hands. We have seen Dad reinvent himself successfully so many times, and he tackled every one of his roles with a firm hand, ever the perfectionist. And talking about perfectionist, for those who remember, there was a tree that we had at the gate back home in Vanita Swakopmund. One day, when they went back from school and returning home, The tree was gone. Dad utters, "Die ding mors baie water man." Oh. The hard work came when the instructions for our daily chores were set. Boys helped Davy, our gardener then, clean up the yard, and his job was done. Tate helped to set up Eva's office when she started doing her work. Probably over the sound of people going on, and Tate there was the grin of a proud father, reminding us again of the consistency and the hard work. It reminds and motivates us every day to take care of our father. Dad loved his family, his friends and acquaintances. He was first to protect those closest to him and kept the secrets of many who shared their most intimate thoughts and challenges with him. Confidentiality is a virtue of loyalty, as loyalty is the virtue of faithfulness. You must know Tate wore this on his sleeves. The old saying goes, we are born amongst relatives. Family is defined by loyalty. If Tate Shatiwa can probably remember that white horse in the cupboard in Swakopmund when the boys were younger. If Dad never told you, it was them who replaced the whiskey with rooibos tea. So now you know Tate Shatiwa. Pride and consistency. Never a day did he not stand firm as himself. It didn't matter what day, what season, or what occasion, he was always just that. Viano Elago himself. You all know what that means. Tate took pride in his children, his siblings, grandkids, friends, and accomplishments, no matter how small, and encouraged them to pursue their dreams. Even when Andiri, as a child, wanted to study to be a goat herder, Dad asked him, "Tokarita e kombo." "Okay, my son, inorita ne iria." That is the caliber we come from. His consistency in being there for his family through thick and thin is a testament of his character. He is a true role model to his kids and a pillar of strength for his family. When the kids passed their grade 10 with flying colors, I think Dad called everyone, maybe even the whole Namibia. Even if you didn't want to listen, Dad would remind you, "Oh, wapita." As people, we have too many expectations on others, but often forget that as humans we are created imperfect, which means we have flaws. However, some beautiful things are more impressive when left imperfect, because these flaws and weaknesses make us more beautiful. The father had his own and never shied away from any of them. He loved fishing, or fishing in soccer back then. He would always take the boys along, but we knew it was their time to get away for a little while and take life in. Then they would come back with some fish, but we also knew that most of the time they went there behind the aquarium and bought it to take it home. He used to make the most delicious braai fish, or even when he put it in the oven. Listening. Dad was a great listener. We truly don't even know how he did it sometimes. The man would sit aside his issues, attentively listen, truly listen. And often one would think, "Man, am I speaking to myself?" Then you hear him murmur the words, "Okay, oh, Then you know how much of a gift that was. Dad fully engaged with us, family and friends alike, creating a safe space for us to share our thoughts and feelings, then often asking thoughtful questions and providing supportive feedback. By being present and attentive, Dad taught us unknowingly the importance of listening and communication in all aspects of life. Thank you for creating these memories that will live with us forever. We know our Dad lives in every one of you forever. We see that spark in your eyes, and when you speak to us of him, keep that flame going and keep his spirit alive, we implore you. To end this note, remember, at times our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lightened the flame within us. Tate was a man who did not grieve for the things which he had, but rejoiced for those which he had. You are all evidence of that. Look at the love and the joy in this room that he has left with us. The evidence is astonishing. His children here, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, the cuckoos, the neighbors, look at each other and remember his love and his compassion. This is Late Viano Elago, Tate Gwetu. We may not understand things as they stand now, but we know that you have always done things with us in mind. Life is just like death. Life, just like death, is just that an unsatisfied curiosity. And when you came into our lives, Tate, God blessed us unaware. Tangi Tate, otwa pandura oshagwan. Can I just want to say something?
This is just a continuation of your, don't go, your children is coming. Your children. Because that's the kurus, that's the next level. So it's just a continuation of them celebrating the life of their father and their uncle. So if they are still at the kurus, their children, grandchildren, is there still grandchildren sitting? Is there anyone who's going to say something on behalf of the grandchildren? Denda, okay. Just come and say something on behalf of the grandchildren. The children and the grand, you cannot go and leave your children on stage. You see, you stay with them until it's finished, then you go with them. Is it not so? Yes. Yes. Come say something. Okay, this one. Yes, can you just say that? Come say that. Kuku is listening now. Come. Kuku is listening. Just whisper to him. Okay.
He wanted to say that, Kuku, I love you. And everybody must forgive him.
What kind of words from Kela? Ikena. Yes. Yes. Can we just introduce them? It's very important that as we come to this afternoon is to celebrate the life of baby.